What's up everybody, this is Investing Sensei here to bring you another video in the new series that we started, which is how many shares do you need of a company to either make $1,000 a month or just $100 every single week. So we go through that every single new video that we do upload on this. I do have quite a couple requests, so make sure that you drop them in the comment section. But in this video we will be actually doing AbbVie. So we're going to be looking over what AbbVie does, a quick summary of it, and then we're going to jump into the dividend information, and then I'm going to show you all the calculations, and then I'm going to show you a quick thing on the dividend yield, which is going to show you the dividend yield for that company throughout time. So it'll be very exciting. But first one I really want to jump over before we do get started. I'm going to show you all the companies that you guys have requested so far. So in the comment section, these are the ones I have on the to-do list. So definitely let me know any other companies that you're interested that you don't see on this list, and I will add them to the list so that I can eventually create a video on those. So yeah, I'll see you in the comment section with that. While you're down there, be sure that you drop a big thumbs up on the video, and you're subscribed with that notification if you have not done so already. It helps out the channel, and I would really appreciate it, guys. But first thing we are going to do, guys, is AbbVie. So let's just quickly look at the about Google. AbbVie is an American publicly traded biopharmaceutical company founded in 2013. It is originated by a spinoff of AbbVie Laboratories. So AbbVie Laboratories, I believe, just became a Dividend King. Definitely somebody let me correct me in the comment section if you guys know this information, but I believe they became Dividend Kings. So I guess you could kind of technically think AbbVie is a Dividend King, but they are not, since they spun off in 2013. But let's go ahead and actually jump over here to the information from AbbVie. So real quick, you'll see that if we look from the bottom, you'll see market cap is 282 billion, which that makes it a mega cap company. So one of the largest type of companies you could possibly own. And then if we look at the yield so far, is 3.52%. This is actually a really good dividend yield, but in terms of AbbVie, it's actually pretty low. This typically was in the 6%, which I will show you in a little bit after the calculations. I'll show you the history in that. But you'll see payout rate about $5.64, and then PE 11.28, and then EPS is 14.19. 52-week range, you'll see it goes all the way from $102 to $161. But let me show you guys the dividend summary. So right here, AbbVie, well, I guess let me scroll up a little bit, show you AbbVie's currently trading about $158.42. So it's actually gone up since I've actually been investing in it. My cost basis, I think, is like in the low 90s. So I was buying it a couple months ago. But if we look at the dividend summary, guys, you'll see that dividend yield is 3.52%. Annual payout is $5.64. The dividend yield is actually pretty healthy. Typically for a dividend company, you want 2 to 3%, at most 4 to 5%. AbbVie was in the 6% when it was closer in the 90s, so it was actually a really good pickup time. Payout ratio, you'll see it's about 41.81%. So this is actually a pretty healthy dividend payout ratio, and actually here that means that there's potential for this dividend to continue growing. 5-year CAGR for this is how much they've grown their dividend in the past 5 years. So it's about 17.71%, which is a really high dividend. Well, I guess 5-year CAGR. Typically I try to invest in double-digit 5-year CAGRs because I have plenty of time in my investing horizon, which typically the 5-year CAGR, if it's double-digit, typically the dividend yield will be in the 1 to 2% or even less. But AbbVie is actually pretty good on that one. Dividend growth, you'll see, is 8 years so far. But if you consider AbbVie's dividend payout, it would be a little bit over 50 years. And then as you'll see, they actually pay out quarterly, which they pay $1.41. And then ex-dividend date's about April 13th So you still have plenty of time to try to buy some shares, and you will get paid on May 16th, 2022. But let's go ahead and pull up the calculator, and that way we can actually show the math behind this. And we will calculate the first one, which is actually going to be, how do we actually make $1,000 every single month? So that means that for us to make $1,000 every month, there is 12 months in a year. So I'm going to show you how I got 12,000. So $1,000 every single month, there's 12 months in a year. So that means that we will need to make $12,000 a year to make 1,000 every month. And then for that, to do that, which for us, we need to find out how many shares do we need to make to earn $12,000 a year. So you have your annual payout, which is $5.64. What you're going to do is you're going to divide the 12,000 by the $5.64. This is actually going to give us the number of shares we need to make own to make $12,000 a year. And so from this value, we need 2,127 shares to make roughly around $12,000 a year. And then from here, we're actually going to scroll up a little bit, and actually we're going to multiply these shares times $158.42. So that will actually give us the total amount of money we need. So we need roughly around $337,000 invested in AbbVie to make $12,000 a year, which comes out to be $1,000 every single month. And obviously they pay out quarterly, so you would have to, every quarter you get paid out, you'd have to divide it by 3, which is about $3,000 that you'd probably get. And then the other thing I do want to mention about this calculation, this doesn't account for taxes. AbbVie eventually does become a qualified dividend after you own it for I believe 60 days. So you would actually be in the 15% tax bracket or 20% tax bracket for qualified dividends. And obviously if you are making less than $40,000 in annual, you would actually pay nothing for qualified dividends. So that is pretty sweet, especially if you're retired and you don't have a W-2 that you'd get at the end of the year. You would basically pay 0 on this. So that is pretty sweet. Eventually we're going to reach that. Yeah, that's one of the cool things about qualified dividends. But now that we're here, guys, let's go ahead and find out how much would you have to make, or I guess how much would you have to be invested in to earn $100. And one real quick before I actually move on to this thing, one way that you could quickly calculate this, or rough estimate on how much you would have to own of AbbVie to make $1,000 every single month, you could actually take the $12,000 and then just divide it by the dividend yield percentage. So you'd divide by 0.0352, and so that would give you roughly around $340,000. So very close to the $337,000. So yeah, that's a quick way you can calculate that, and that's quite a bit of money that you'd have to be invested. And yeah, let's go see how much we would have to make, or I guess how much do we have to own to make $100 every single week. So for us to get these values, we want to make $100 every single week. There is 52 weeks in a year, so that means that we need to make $5,200 and a year. So that's gonna be probably about half of what we just calculated. But let's just go through the math real quick. So we have 5,200. We're actually gonna divide that by the annual payout to give us the number of shares we need. So $5.64, and this should tell us how many shares we need. So we need about 921 shares, about 922 shares. And then you're just gonna multiply that number of shares times the price of AbbVie, so $158.42. So we would need about roughly $146,000 to make $100 every single week. And then quick calculation is 5,200 divided by the dividend yield, which is 0.0352. which gives you about 147,000, 148,000. It's gonna vary by a couple $1,000, but yeah, it's kind of roughly half of the 12,000. So it kind of makes sense there. but that is how much you would have to actually own. If you guys enjoyed this video on this portion, let me know in the comment section. Let me know any other companies that you want to see next. I typically am going to try to upload these type of videos on a Thursday morning. And yeah, but let's go ahead. There's one more other thing I want to show you, which is the dividend yield. And while I jump on there, I'm still trying to figure out what type of content I want to include in these videos. So give me some ideas on what information you want to see covered in this type of video. But let's go ahead and jump over here. You'll see here's the dividend yield. It's actually under seeking alpha for AbbVie. So if we look right here, you'll see this is actually the dividend yield. So the higher the better. So typically the dividend yield, remember, will go up if the stock goes down, and if the stock price goes up, the dividend yield typically goes down. So if you'll look here, the better, the higher on the graph was most likely the best time to buy the stock. So as you'll see, March 23, 2020, there was a dividend yield of 6.81% for AbbVie. That was pretty awesome. And then you'll see it went down because AbbVie started recovering, and then we got another opportunity to buy more AbbVie. And then it's actually been down trending towards the 4% dividend yield, and now it's actually going into the 3% dividend yield. So actually these were the best times to buy, closer to the 5 to 6%, almost 7% dividend yield for AbbVie. But if we look at the 1 year, I guess, let's see, yeah, right around October, yeah, March, so I guess September and October and November were the best type of months that you'd get the best dividend yield for AbbVie. And now it's downtrending, and that is because AbbVie is moving up in price. But yeah, this is actually all I have in this video, guys. Be sure that you're subscribed with that bell notification if you have not done so already, and drop a big thumbs up on the video. Helps out the channel a lot, and I will see you guys in the next video. Let me know any other companies you want to see next week, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.